Welcome back, Select Few Podcast. Today we have Sal's Famous, the long-awaited podcast. Today we're going to be going over his life story, his process, and kind of just, him as a person, what encompasses that, and his struggles. And so I'd like to just get right into it. I know you were. So right now you're a successful artist. You're doing it. You're the man.
Thank you. Very kind.
Yeah.
Thank
So, but before that, 6-7 years ago, you were homeless.
you. Yes.
So tell us about your come up, how you got there, the things that changed you to get to that point.
I just want to say thank you for having me, Walt and Eric. Appreciate y'all. It's great. Great experience.
Our pleasure.
Glad that I came out here. Like I told you guys off air, I don't go outside my comfort zone, but this has been really cool, man. It's been a really good experience, and you guys seem like really good dudes. And well, you're super inspiration. So basically, I mean the long story of it all is basically like, I grew up in East Dallas. My mother's from New York. My dad's from East Dallas, Lakewood area in Dallas, Texas. And basically, he was in fashion. My mom was a hairdresser. So my mom back in the day made a lot of money, da-da-da-da. Then she had me and my sister. And then, like, they started to struggle. And, lower middle class, but still had a decent life. My dad worked all the time, which I can relate to your story. But he didn't make the money you made. So, like, I didn't have a relationship with my dad really until I was 15, when I was like kind of almost into, I guess, high school, right? Then he had like time off, and then I got to really know my dad, my father, very well, as far as like he spent time with me, And then going through high school, I never know what I wanted to do with my life, but I went to an art high school, and I just followed my sister. My sister is a great artist, da-da-da. And I just was like, man, I'm going to apply to a college in Manhattan because she did. And I got accepted. It was the only school, SVA. And I still have, my mom has the acceptance letter to this day. I went out with her for Mother's Day to Ocean Prime, which I felt very proud to do. Because my Puerto Rican mother has never been to Ocean Prime. So basically, and I love my mom so much. She's great. I got accepted, but I couldn't afford it. And college, you don't go to college, you're a loser, basically. You know what I mean? I was trying to tell somebody that the other day, and they're like, well, not necessarily, but I'm like, no.
You're still figuring out your path.
Right, correct. But like, if you don't go to college, especially back in the 2000s, it was like your family's like banking.
You're a loser.
Yeah, like, and it's not meaning you're gonna lose in life. It's just that's the what do you call it? The scarlet letter they put on you if you don't go to college.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I got accepted, but my parents had gotten divorced at the time. So my sister went with my mom, and my dad, I was under his umbrella. And on paper, these are just like, I'm paraphrasing. He made money on paper to where he could pay my tuition or whatever you call it, right? And so he was like, I can't afford it. So cool. So I told my mom, like, fuck it, I can't go. Can I curse? I'm sorry.
Sure.
Our audience don't give a shit.
We're accepting of all types here.
Yeah. So I was like, Ma, I can't do it. She's like, don't go then. So then didn't end up going to college, and then I moved to Boston because my cousin lived in Boston. He lived in Roxbury, where Malcolm X is from. It's a very, very Puerto Rican, at the time in 2002, very Puerto Rican black neighborhood, right? Okay. So, and my cousin is on my dad's side, my cousin's half Mexican, half white. So I went out there with him, and I looked very Puerto Rican. I didn't understand that till then. So then I'm walking to work in a 3-piece suit and shit, going to like some high-end clothing store, which a bunch of Irish.
Sears.
It was like super high-end. Like all the Irish and Italian people work there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to work every day, and these Puerto Rican kids from the block are just like talking shit to me, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I didn't love it going in almost a year, and so I moved back. And then I was like, my
Moved
sister...
back to
Dallas.
Texas?
Dallas,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And my sister lives in New York, or at the time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to move with C. My sister's name is Selena. So I moved there, and then we started doing our fashion thing. And we're a year and 6 months apart, so we started doing our fashion thing, right? Boom, boom, boom. No big deal. And then...
Now, when you say fashion thing, are you like you're just wearing the stuff that's in style? Are you guys making your own clothes?
So my sister and I, we come from a very eclectic family. So we basically like, we wear whatever the fuck we want to wear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, and not to sound like cocky about it, but my sister's always been a fashionista. And then like me looking at her, she's my older sister. I'm like, oh, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
So I just do whatever the fuck I want. I'll wear wild shit.
Right.
But she's more wild than me. And so we were just like, we just want to like buy clothing for like people like in Japan and shit that are like kind of ahead of the curve.
Dude, Japan is always like ahead of the curve.
Oh, yeah.
Fashion wise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're just they're on it.
Yeah.
So
They're
you're
from the
just
future.
you're piecing together shit you like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, Kanye West is from the future, man.
No, I mean he's wearing sock boots right now.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like-
they're a little.
I can't wrap my mind
yeah.
around the shit that
I
they're
mean,
wearing.
sometimes you gotta throw shit at the
dude.
wall and see what happens.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah. So we started kind of like doing like we want to do like an online thing, and a lot of our clients were like Japanese, and I kind of was doing repping brands and all this other shit, and then basically the air ran out of the tire, man. I was I was basically, if you know New York, there's Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, right? So if you would catch, I would literally do this after I was like, my sister kicked me out. I was crashing on this Indian dude's couch. He was a very sweet guy. I can't remember his name.
Dude from The Simpsons?
Apu?
Was it a
talking
boo?
about
Maybe his nephew. No, but so like the A train goes all the way down and the F train goes all the way like down and up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I can afford to buy a ticket. I'm gonna sleep on the train and I'm gonna catch it all the way down. I'm gonna go all the way back up and do it all over again. And I did that for like 2 or 3 nights. And it was brick ass in New York. They say brick, like it's very cold. It's hard. And I would sleep on the train like this because I had my my stuff, like gear, and I'd hold it like this because I didn't want to get robbed and I didn't want rats on me. And I did that and I was like, this is not for me.
It's not it.
It's not it. And then I moved to Dallas and I was like, I was at the time, I think I was like 28, 29. My mom was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, man, you did hair. I want to do hair. All the wrong reasons. I was like, I like women. I like money. Right? But not barber, like women's hair, like white ladies' hair in the chair and shit, like shampoo.
Dude, I did 4 years cosmetology, bro.
Really?
Like, yeah, I went to high school and I was like, dude, I need an elective. I was like, I'm going to fill my time doing that. And I mastered
fantastic.
cornrows, dude, in that 3 years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, dude, these little baby fingers, man. I could get that braid tight.
I didn't know about this about you.
Oh, sometimes there's just little things that you just don't need to know.
Little tidbits.
You know, but now that it's flowing, now I feel like I'm going to be a fashionista like Kanye and like him and his sister.
You'll be
You know?
here in sock shoes tomorrow.
Oh, dude, they're already on order. Amazon Prime 3 days. They beat me on the 2 days, so I was like, well, I'll take 3 days, you know?
Dude, I'm just saying it's a good trade to have because like I can do a badass blowout, like I can blow dry someone's hair.
It's like no matter what you do with your life, you can always resort back to that.
Yeah,
You know how to style hair, and it's like a
right. And that's what my mother told me. She goes, "Oh, you can always fall back on it." And this is part of the thing where it's like when you want to chase something that you love to do, like your parents are always gonna they're your parents. So like I
They're
can
gonna
imagine.
tell you don't fucking do it.
Oh fuck yeah! Like if I had a kid right now,
Don't be dumb.
If I had a kid right now, and boy or girl, whoever the fuck they want to be, or alien, and they go, "Dad, I want to be an artist," I'm like, "You're gonna be broke."
Right.
And this is an artist that I'm trying to fucking.
I want to be an artist.
Yeah, I'd be like,
they're
"Oh, you're gonna
look
be
at
broke
you
ass."
like you're stupid.
This is, but I don't understand. I guess this is how life is, right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, hey, you got to prove it to me. But yeah, so then I was like, I want to do hair. So I went to hair school here in Dallas, Ogle. Shout out to Ogle on Mockingbird Lane.
Shout out Oval.
Yep, and I graduated. You know, I did my due diligence. Some political crap went down.
So you went in for women's hair.
Yeah, and I was good at it. I was good at blowouts and like
Dude,
cutting hair.
the price of color, man, dude. You might as well be women's hair.
I feel like men's hair would be like you could put your artistic touch, like style them up. No.
I hear you, but no.
You know how many dudes want a line anymore? You know, it's not like they want the skyline of Dallas.
Being a straight man doing hair, women want to know what you're up to.
Yeah.
And this is what got me into this art.
Okay.
I'm not joking.
I
I'm not
agree
joking.
with you now.
Let me just tell you this much. So I shampooed this woman's hair one time. I'm just gonna take a little quick detour. So I shampooed this woman's hair one time. One time, excuse me. There was this Asian guy. His name was Tuan. He's Vietnamese.
Okay.
Gay Asian guy. Little. Just exactly his name. Just what you're thinking.
Exactly.
He's just like, hi, my name is. He talk like this. My name is Tuan. I'm not joking. That's how exactly I spoke.
That sounded like he was
I'm not being racist.
Was he kind of like Hispanic there?
No, he had
a twang in there.
His name is Tuan. He talked like that. So he goes, hey, Sal, I have a client. And she goes to all the med spas with like Oprah and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
This is in Uptown in Dallas. I go, okay. He goes, you give her, because I was shampooing. And I was very good at shampooing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Scrub the scalp.
No, it was massage
I'm telling you
the
right
scalp.
now,
Get deep in there.
I'm not, okay, this is going to sound like a douchebag thing to say. I've had women moan at the shampoo bowl.
Oh, my God.
And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I'm doing it in front of other women or
Sure.
gay dudes that do hair, and they're looking at me like, "What are you doing to her?" And
That's
I'm
why
like,
your hands
I'm like
are-
this. I'm like this. I'm
Dude,
just.
that's why your hands are so damn soft when I touch them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My abuelito would be rolling in his grave right now. No, but so like he goes, "Hey, I need you to shampoo her really well." I go, "Okay." I go, "How long?" He goes, "Take your time." He goes, "She's my VIP client."
Make him enjoy it.
Yeah, he goes, "My VIP client, right?"
Yeah.
So I go, "Okay, say less." So I did it. Sure enough, she tipped me $50 on a 3-minute shampoo. He comes up to me afterwards. He goes, "Sal." I go, "What? What's wrong? What's wrong?" I thought I was in trouble. He goes, "What'd you do to her?" I go, "What are you talking about? She complained?" He goes, "No, she tipped you $50. She tipped me less than that."
Yeah.
Like she tipped him less than that cutting her hair.
Right.
She tipped me more just for a 3-minute shampoo.
That's magic fingers, bro.
Just saying.
You know,
God.
and now you're flinging them all
these
over
hands?
canvas, right? You know, so you took your artistic talent from the hair to the canvas.
So that's kind of what I want to know is
Yeah.
how did you bridge this gap from being a hairstylist
Yeah.
to saying screw it, I'm gonna become an artist?
Correct. So at the end of my hair career, my best mate, he's from Australia. Shout out to Rick. He lives in Philly now. He lived here, and he's a touring bassist now with a very good brand. And he and I are on the same trajectory. Like we're both trying to make it, and we're both kind of like progressively like going for it. And he goes, I was working at a bar called Single Wide in Dallas towards the end. So I was doing part-time at a bar, part-time at a blowout salon. So basically, I was like, I don't know, some reason, something just told me. I woke up one morning and I was like, I want to paint again because I went to Arts Magnet in Dallas. Erica Badu.
So you painted as a when did you painted as a high school student?
Yeah, but I didn't apply myself like I was telling you when we weren't on.
It was
on
just
air.
for fun.
It was for fun, but I was girl crazy, so I wasn't applying myself.
Yeah.
And Miss Chambliss, which is one of my art teachers, not my direct art teacher, but she was overseeing an art show we were doing. She told me you would never make it in the fine art world in my final senior art season. My art show of the year, senior season.
That bitch.
Senior year. No. But it's perfect because it's she was my oracle in the Matrix. She told me what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
But I still will never forget her because that chip is like a Pringles can.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she told me exactly what I needed to hear, and I love Miss Chambliss for the rest of my life. If
That's
I saw
your
her,
drive.
I give her a big hug because I'll never forget that. It stuck with me from that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild just how reinforcing negative reinforcement is in
It's
your
crazy.
career?
Like
You know, because that's my life.
It
it's
becomes
negative
like,
reinforcement
For sure.
my entire existence.
Yeah.
And then it's like somehow that pushed me forward.
yeah, of course.
Yes.
It becomes
And-
like ingrained in you that I have to prove them wrong.
But
I want to make something of myself.
For sure.
I'm going to prove everybody wrong.
For sure. Yeah.
see, it got strange for me. Like I had all this negative, things like, least likely to succeed and this and that because he's the class clown and all this. And it's like, I didn't even use that as feed for my fire, man. Like that fuel that was burning inside was like unknown to me. Like, I was just so used to the negative. And I'm like, I'm just going after it, but I'm
brushed
like,
right
but
off
it's
you?
inside me. It's buried so deep down. There's a wall built, There's
sure.
there's a treasure box in there with all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that coal's burning.
Yeah, dude.
And dude, it lights that fire.
You know, I heard because I said I listened to the first few. Eric says something very interesting. He's like, is it in you already, or is it something learned? It's an interesting question because I have no fucking idea, dude. Because
I feel like it's
in you.
It's ingrained in a person.
So,
You know,
if I may, I'm just gonna close up the story real fast.
Sure.
So,
Go for it.
when I told my buddy I wanted to paint, he goes, "You should do that at the bar." When I was bartending / watching the door, my mom says, "Nothing comes good at the bar." I've closed all my deals at a bar.
Nothing.
So,
Were you
Mom, you're
massaging
wrong.
hair at the bar too?
Listen, Mom.
No, sir. Very fun. No, so then fast forward, I'm back at the hair drying salon, and I had done like a piece on my wall that I did like Pabst Blue Ribbon. I smashed all the Pabst Blue Ribbon. What do you call those things? The cardboards. I tacked them up on my wall, and then I painted something on top of it because I couldn't afford a canvas.
Yeah.
So one day I'm shampooing this woman's hair, and she's looking at her phone, and I'm blow drying, and so she's like, "Hey, what do you like to do for fun?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "But other than like drink and hang out, what do you like to do for fun?" I'm like,
Other than get drunk and hang out.
"Yeah, I mean degenerate, yeah." So I go. Well, actually, I started painting. She goes, "Can I see?" I said, "Sure." I showed her. She looked at it. She's like, "That's really good." And I'm like, "Thank you." And she goes, "Would you consider doing a commission for my husband's 50th birthday?"
Yeah.
She told me a story. I would love to do like a visual montage of his life. I said, "Okay, cool." So I get her number. I mean, my dad's driving me in his car by his house, like leaving his house. We're going to go to Gloria's. So my dad's like, "Let's get you out of the house and have a drink." Cool. We're texting, me and this woman. I'm telling my dad the story. And meanwhile, he's telling me you should just work. And he's like, you know, my dad doesn't know his worth. So he's like, I go, $5,000. Mind you, I haven't done a painting in 10 years other than the painting I showed her.
Wow.
I said $5,000, and I'm telling my dad, I'm texting. No, son, don't tell her. Don't. Just tell her like $500. I said, fuck that shit. Watch this. And meanwhile, I'm fucking sweating bullets. I don't want to kill this deal because I'm just throwing out numbers.
Yeah.
So I go 5,000. She texts me back. I don't know if that's a bit much. I don't have my allowance. That's how these people talk with money. I'm like, allowance, shit, dude. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, cool. And I go, my dad goes, you shouldn't have said 5,000. I'm like, just be quiet. And I go, all right, 3,500. She goes, can I give you half in cash and I'll buy you a drink and I'll give you the other half afterwards? I go, deal. And I looked at the deal. I said, see that? Yeah. See that? You can ask for what you want and get it, but
that's
call
business.
your number.
Yeah.
And I know it's not all about money, but money is nice because it creates freedom. And I'm big on freedom.
Exactly. Dude, I'm so right there with you.
And I'm glad I have the parents I have. I wouldn't take them back for the world because they made and they're making the individual that you see before you today. That's super fucking grateful. So I do not want to act like I'm trashing my parents. I love them both very much with all my heart. But if they did not show me what not to do in life, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, facts. I mean, that's same here, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I got just wild different, stories as far as my upbringing, but similar, Yeah. My parents didn't divorce, but I lived in a whole different country than my mom, for the second half of my life. And it's wild because that does something to you itself. But there's still a fundamental part of why I'm here.
For sure.
It doesn't matter, everything that I learned, it's ingrained in you.
For sure.
And, but man, that's a dope story.
Thank you.
And that's that's the biggest thing about this podcast is it's people, they look at me, they'll look at you, doing stuff for celebrities and this and that.
They look at face value.
Yeah, and it's like
they don't see the journey that it took to get
they're
there.
like
Yes,
and it's like we always touch base on the Lamborghinis and stuff. And I mean obviously that's just one of the many cars, right?
For sure.
But it's like because that's what people want you to see.
Yes.
They don't see the tears. They don't see the struggle.
Yeah, man.
The cold train ride, right? Mm-hmm. Feeling alone.
Yeah.
They don't see that shit.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Get in there.
No, I just remember so I posted something on my Instagram recently, and it's like Conor McGregor, right? And granted, I don't agree with all the shenanigans he's up to nowadays, but you can't deny the hustle and the success, and that doesn't create happiness. I'm already happy. I'm content with my life. I'm more happy because I'm making some money, and it wasn't given to me. It wasn't given to me at all. I had to fight for that shit. So I watched that, And I posted that today. I posted that today. And it's interesting because the way he went about things and the way he talked about things and visualized and this and that, I ran into some people when I was back, like just homeless, like sleeping at the park and cops coming up on me. My parents being like, you can only stay here for a week, which that's fine. I had to fly. They wanted me to fly. But like, you know, having these UFC people that I met at a random bar and them being like, do you know who Conor McGregor is? And this is before he fought Chad Mendez, if anybody knows UFC.
Yeah.
And them being like, if you hang out with us, this will change your life. And I fucking joined a UFC gym just because I knew the people that worked out there. And I remember feeling ashamed because I had to go there one night and sleep in one of those big ass tractor tires because I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
But then when I got wrapped up in the whole culture of the UFC and the fighters and what fighting actually means other than protecting yourself, it's like fighting for what you want. That's how I took it. It just like changed everything for me. It was wild. So the early Conor McGregor years are a big part of why I'm like, I'll post certain things and I'll flex. I'm not, that's me, but it's also not me. And life is pro wrestling, so I like to kind of like do my little Ric Flair
Life
shit.
is pro wrestling.
It is.
You've said that all night.
It is.
You know,
it is though. It is.
And that's the cool thing. So it's like, you know, you got these belts, right? Flexing your accomplishments, right?
Correct.
And that's fantastic. You know what I mean? It's like for me, for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, especially once you come into some new money, I call it, right? Or the day you don't worry about a bill.
Right.
You start flexing for yourself. It's not even for people to see you.
Yes.
It's an achievement.
It's like, you know what? I want to go buy that just because today I can. And
Correct.
yesterday I couldn't.
Correct.
You know, it was like when my wife and I, we decided to buy a boat. I talked about a boat our entire time together. We've been together since we're 16, 21 years now, right? And it's like, I wanted a damn boat. And I got so close to a boat, so close to a boat. And the only boats I ever owned were ones I was having to flip
Were little
to make money to
puddle
pay
jumpers.
bills. Right? And it's like, she's like, whatever you want. Right? I'm like, well, let's be reasonable, right? You know, because whatever I want is, you know, I've been on people's 70-foot yachts.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a little baby yacht. But still, it's like, let's be reasonable, you know what I mean? So it's like, but her belief in me, but I wanted to feel like I accomplished something.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I went smaller, you know?
Yeah.
And so for me, every time I hit a milestone, I buy a new watch. So for me, it's watches. And so that's me. So I want to watch every year that I hit a milestone, but if I don't hit my milestone, I'm not buying the watch. So next year, if you don't see me with a new watch, I didn't hit my milestone, and next year I'll try again. But I'm not going to quit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need cars. I don't need the clothes. I don't need any of that stuff, right? My focus is family, health,
Yeah.
you know,
Watches.
watches. Right?
But so all the free shit though, as far as like so the things we take for granted, that like as soon as like Dame Dash, who I love, he talks about it, it's like, you know, as soon as like family and freedom and all that, you know, like things that we already have, like once it's taken from you, you'll throw any amount of money to get your health back, to get your family back, to get all that. So it's interesting that you said that, but that's so funny you said that because I have a refrigerator, and my refrigerator is 3-0. So I was like, I want
3-0?
Oh yeah, I wanted.
What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
I wanted to.
Is
My
that Puerto
refrigerator is
Rican?
3-0.
What's that lingo?
So I have. So this is gonna sound like,
Is that from the Bronx? I'm not sure what's going
fair
on.
play,
Here.
sir. Fair play.
3-0.
So there's like, I don't want to sound like woo-woo bullshit, but like I post things on my refrigerator, you know, like things that I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like I had like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, right? But the universe will give it to you when you're ready, and it might not happen.
So your fridge is your vision board. Is what you're trying to say.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So I did a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I ended up getting that. And then my next one was like, I want a Bronco. Got that. I was like, cool. And then this next one, I was like, the next big sale, I want this particular watch. And I just landed my next big sale.
What's that watch?
Hey.
What's the dream watch?
Philip Plein. I actually bought a watch case because I like, now I'm like getting into watches.
Did you buy a winder?
I did not. I'm not on their level yet.
Oh, dude, you gotta buy a winder.
Okay. You gotta school me.
You gotta, you know, that way when you walk in your closet and they're turning, they're looking at you like you did it.
You don't have to like reset it every time,
nah.
right? Damn it. See,
Yeah, you put it in a winder, man.
Dude.
dude. It's,
See, I don't even know that part of the game yet.
yeah.
So, but yeah, so
I had to learn from my brother.
There
I had
you
no
go.
idea. I was like, "What's an auto wind?" Right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm looking for the battery.
All right.
You know what I mean? You know?
All right.
I'm looking at Walmart's watches. I'm like, oh shit, that's a 1999 watch. I mean, 'cause I've always liked watches, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, Eric can take you back to like I had like this Rick
Dude,
James watch.
he used to have like a collection of like giant Walmart watches. There was just he had a whole selection of just the most ridiculous, just Invicta giant watches.
Okay, can I tell you something? I'm
Let it loose.
there is so watch culture. I being Puerto Rican Mexican, I love the big ones back in the day. You know,
you want to be stunting.
yeah, no, and it's a bad
Stunt like your
look.
daddy.
It's a bad look. So now when I see an actual good watch, I'm like, God damn, young Sal. You were like an idiot. You were such an idiot. It's like when you used to drive back, I used to drive all the way back.
Yeah.
Now when I see that, I'm like, look at this dumb motherfucker.
Right?
And
Chill
I'm like,
it
oh, I
out.
used to do that
So
though.
you're
I
like,
used to do that, though. I
so
used to
are
do
you
that.
10 and 2 in it? I mean,
Almost.
dude,
He's trying to stay safe.
dude, I'm almost having to go 10 and 2 because I'm getting like
Why do
tennis
you think
elbow
I
for
got
Brighton
it?
back. So
I'm trying to keep those cops off my ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
I drive
look-
a lifted Bronco.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Playing some Toby Keith or some shit.
oh
You
yeah,
know?
and you're rolling the windows down. God bless
Playing
the
it
USA.
My guy, here we go. Let's go. Okay, what were you saying though? Sorry.
I don't know.
He's still riding dirty, so he knows.
Yeah, I'm super
You know,
dirty.
he's got like 3 years under me, so
I love it.
he
I
doesn't
love
have
it.
the tennis elbow and all
I
those
love it.
problems and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wrist, clicks and.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do that so I can stare at my watch while I'm driving.
There
You
you
know
go.
what I mean?
There
Like,
you go.
oh, you made it. You know,
There you go.
that watch ain't gonna change unless you keep going.
Yeah.
You know,
Hell
but
yeah.
for me, dude, it's literally become like smiles, like seeing my kids happy and smiling now, because it's like obviously I spoiled my kids, right?
Yeah.
The come up was real, and it happened quick, and of course, no mentorships, no people there, no financial advisors. You're just like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my wife, she's smarter than me. So she was able to say, hey, come out of the clouds. That doesn't make financial sense.
Come out of the closet.
Yeah. No.
We've been expecting you, Walter.
Hey, that's my brother. That's my brother. Only one closet door in our family.
Right.
So, but that's the thing. So, fortunately, if I didn't have her, I've been broke as shit. We wouldn't even be sitting here right now. So she helped me make good financial decisions. Of
Yeah.
course, I had bad financial decisions too, but now it's like everything's just changed for me as far as like. I want to reach out to people who did struggle like you, struggle like me, who can do it, who have the drive, determination, the grit, have all those things, but come from a humble beginnings, right?
For sure.
And I mean, it's if you don't have a silver spoon, life is hard.
Fuck yeah,
I dropped
dude.
out of high school. I didn't finish my senior year.
Hell yeah.
I dropped out.
My mom got her GED.
I attempted to go to college, because
Yeah.
I want to be a cop, be
Yeah.
like my brothers. And I was like, you know what? I started popping out kids. Well, I didn't. She did, but I was
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
And so it's like once we started having children, it's like our dream was she needs to stay home, right? It's too expensive to put in childcare, this and that. So I started doing 2 jobs, and it's like they've always been my hustle. And so for me, that's always been my drive. And then when I look back now, I'm like, my drive was so big, I lost sight of everything important.
Yeah,
And
that drive.
that's the struggle, bro.
That drive
it's
took away
like,
time with you and the kids.
yeah, but I mean, even family.
Yeah.
Eric and I, we were super close, and dude, last 2-3 years, it's like, we don't go to the lake, we don't hang out. It'd be like, hey, let's go to Home Depot. You got to do dad shit.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's go to Home Depot again.
Dad
because
activities.
we went to Home Depot 6 times on a Saturday, because we forgot something
Yeah.
every time. But,
No.
but it's like, so what would you tell these kids now? Because you and I were in a slightly different role because I have kids, you don't.
Right.
You guys the same age?
Yes,
So,
yes.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Okay.
41?
Yeah.
I'm 37.
You look good.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, you're older than me. Hey, Dad.
Damn.
Let's go.
I can't believe you're 41.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
41, man.
You look great.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
It's because you're living your truth. You're
know,
just
they're blessed.
enjoying
I don't
yourself.
know. I think it has something to do with rubbing paint on your body. You know what I'm saying?
Exploding paint on your body.
As our audience is gonna see later, the paint explosion that rocked the
blasted
world.
me. Yeah.
You know where Eric got
I look
salved.
stronger than I look, I guess. I don't know.
You know, but so we've got to reach these youth. We got to reach these people, even
youth.
people. I mean, no, for real. So this
You
generation of
fucking
people who are very misguided,
Republican.
right? I mean, these kids that are not graduated yet, or they're graduated.
Sure.
You know, we need to reach those kids, but we also need to reach people who right now are struggling, who are 40 years old, who are 30 years old, and still trying to figure out everything. One of my friends, I found it the other day. He just got divorced for the third damn time. Successful business owner.
That's spicy.
He's successful.
Very successful.
Very, very
We're talking about the
successful.
same person. He's
Yeah.
very successful.
But it's like
huge company.
But and I can't speak for him, but I'm just like, I see the writings on the wall.
Yeah.
Because you get consumed by your craft,
Sure.
right?
For sure.
And so, fortunately, you know, I had my moment of just all on clarity, you know, and that was all God willing. But a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people will have 3, 4, 5 wives, right?
lot of people are
and they're
fucking
lonely as
brain
fuck
dead.
at 70 years old,
Yeah.
laying on their deathbed,
Yeah.
and nobody showing up to the funeral, not even their kids. And so that's what I didn't want. And I didn't want to, because there's no fulfillment. You can have all the money in the world, but where's the fulfillment come
For sure.
if you can't share with somebody?
For sure.
Sure.
You know? And it's like, that's the one thing I kind of like, I love about artists, right? Is your art is going to be everlasting, but the passion you put into it,
Yeah.
you know, the drive is there, but it's like you can look at what you created. I have a very difficult time looking at what I created around here.
Right.
How does it make you feel? What's the difficult time?
Dude, it's like I can sit around here and it's like you can look at cars and houses
Like you're-
and this
you're-
and that. It's like I don't see where did I make it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause-
Right. Yeah.
So it's like you know, like to tell my wife, I said we need to start a nonprofit. We need to do this. We need to do that because you know what? My fulfillment is every time somebody smiles, and that's off camera. I don't want anybody to know.
That's a insignificant smile. You're not feeling it. Like you get this tiny ounce of joy.
Dude, it's like when I
It's-
see people come up, you know, it's like you right now. I will be proud till the day I die of you for every successful milestone. Right? And we just met each other.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel about just humans in general.
Yeah.
Is that when they succeed,
Yeah.
I in my heart succeed.
Yeah, dude.
And even if I have no part of it,
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's amazing. And
But how do you get that for yourself? You're projecting your happiness onto other people.
dude,
How do
I've
you
still
be
yet
happy?
to learn it. I've still yet
How
to
do
learn it.
you be happy?
You're figuring it out. It's life, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
it's like, but and that's the thing. I think people, you know, it's like I don't have all the answers, right?
Yeah. No.
Dude, I've spent 18 years chasing a ladder that never ends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, at what point? And think about billionaires, right? Think about Amazon CEOs and all these guys. What point does it stop?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it stops for them because they start stepping down from their companies and they
Sure.
start living right. But at what point are you actually fulfilled and happy? I know, you know, people say, "Hey, if you got a whole bunch of money, it's
Yeah. No,
and you're
yeah,
lonely,
it's-
it's
yeah.
a lot better to be lonely on your island." But I beg to differ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like from your own visions, right?
Yeah.
Like how would somebody like me figure out how to feel fulfilled not by everybody else?
So I listened to the 2 podcasts you had because I want to feel the vibe for the show, and you know,
You say Tupac?
That was
You say,
Tupac.
you
I
say
heard
Tupac?
Tupac.
You say Tupac?
did I say Tupac?
What'd you say?
I said I wanted to feel the vibe for the show.
Did you say the Hansons? I'm not. What's
What's happening right now? I have no idea what's happening right now.
Hansons, they go
Quit trying to
hard.
knock me off my path right now, sir. No, but I mean, you know, I can appreciate where you're coming from as far as like you wanted to like, you know, spend time with your family,
Yeah.
but you're successful and yes, you know, you made money and money's not happiness. You have to, you know, have your happiness, whatever that is to you. I grew up very unhappy and my dad worked his ass off and made no money.
Yeah.
So it's a weird kind of situation because when I hear what you're saying, I'm like, well, I would rather my dad been like you and then get to know my dad like how I knew him.
Yeah.
Because now I'm an older guy coming into high school, graduated, whatever. But at least now I have the luxury of being like, I can hang out with my dad. We don't have to worry for anything. I can be like, Dad, let's go to wherever. And my dad's like, let's go, son.
Yeah.
Because my dad, his thing, and not talking trash about my father, but he was like, we're going to go to New York for Christmas. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Never happened.
It's
and
always
it still
tomorrow.
sticks in the back of my mind. It's always tomorrow. But then again, there's a trade-off. Like, then you're successful and you don't spend time with your kids. So I don't know what that answer is, but I do know that like everybody needs to find their happiness, and not to sound like some woo-woo, whatever, but it's like you need to find what makes you happy. I found what made me happy. I don't know the secret. I don't know anything. And yes, I have things, I speak things out in my house when nobody's there and I seem like a crazy person, but I think that's my church. That's my prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was telling Eric, you know, I don't mind. I love Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
You know, I almost had a connection with him in Nashville via Scattered Brains, who was a great guy. He was one of his producer guys that produces here and there for him. I want to be the Jelly Roll of the art world. I want people to look at me and I'm going to show you all my fucking bullshit that I've done and all the wrong turns I've taken, but you can make it. You can do it, but only if it makes you happy. If money was not a thing tomorrow, what would you do with your life? That's what I would tell them. What would you do with your life tomorrow? If we could do this all for free, if everything's free and it's like Burning Man in this motherfucker, what would you do with your life?
Oh yeah,
I would paint, even though some days I do not want to paint.
I paint too.
I would do, and you did a masterful job before I had that accent.
Hey,
but
before you got Sal.
I got Sal.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, reach out
he
to us
wanted to
if you
leave
want
his
the
mark.
Got Sal T-shirt. It is trademarked, so don't try to bite it off. You know, it's
That's a business.
only
fan right
select
there. I
few.
love it.
So only one place.
But what would you do with your life if
Right.
if this was all for free?
What's important? What do you value? What are you gonna make important?
right?
What are you gonna prioritize?
Right. And if it's building bridges, or if it's, you know, installation, or you making belts custom for people because they want to feel like, oh, I want to make people feel good. Whatever you want to do, painting faces. I don't give a shit.
I'm
throwing confetti in the air, like
I'm
fucking
not
whoever.
prioritizing insulation.
But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, you know, everybody.
We call that the vehicle to success.
Okay.
But my father loves selling
pays the
clothing.
bills.
My father loves selling clothing. He
Yeah.
like fucking loves it. Like his eyes light up.
Yeah.
Because he likes putting together outfits, because he likes seeing people's faces happy when
Yeah.
they're like, they feel good, they look good.
Yeah.
He's like, loves it. And I don't get it. But that's
Dude.
not my journey, that's his.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I decided to go buy custom suits. I bought 3 suits, right? Walked in there, and it's
Not
like,
for me.
no, not yet.
Yeah.
You know?
I appreciate that.
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
You know
They,
how
they
good
didn't
I
make
would
your
look in
size.
a
It was a
suit?
grown man store.
Oh, okay. They
You
didn't
know?
have size 30 waist.
No, they
Is
didn't.
what you're saying?
No, it started at
Good, that's
31.
good waist size.
You know? It's
size.
yeah, I'm not even gonna go there.
I know.
You know?
Steer clear.
Hey, it's only 34. I look a little thick, but I got pigeon legs.
34. That's
good
You
waist
know what I'm
size too,
saying?
34
Yeah, I'm
though,
like,
man.
okay.
It's not bad,
Yeah.
dude.
2
Not
years
doing
ago it was a
bad.
36, but who cares?
Yeah. Who
Right?
cares?
Who cares?
Just be you.
But you know, it's like, so I went in that store. I got fitted for the first time in my whole life, and I'm like, dude, I felt like a boss. Like, I actually
course.
felt cool. I felt
Yeah.
good, right?
Yep.
You know, it's like, damn, I almost want to wear a suit every day. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong business for that, because you don't want to wear a suit here.
Yeah.
But,
You get
but every time I put a
poly
suit
seal
on
on your
I
suit?
wore more suits in 2 years, and I'm like, you know, halftime I want to wear a damn suit to church. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I just want to look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
We have to wrap this up,
Damn it.
but this is just the beginning.
Cool.
We vibe with you so hard, Sal.
Yeah, dude.
And we haven't even broke the ground of your story,
Yeah.
but we're running out of time. So
Wait.
And I love Friday, by the way.
But
He's
you
the
know
man.
what, Eric?
We
I
all love
think
Friday.
since we cut it short, but Jelly Roll, dude, you're amazing. Inspiration to us all.
Hell yeah.
We've
Jelly
been
Roll's
watching your
dope.
come up personally.
hell yeah.
You know, I only
Great-
talk to God
great
when I got a
podcast
favor.
with Joe Rogan.
Dude, fire. And I use that to literally minister to other people about how we do not talk to God when the time is right to not ask for a favor. You know, I give thanks every single day ever since I heard your song.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
Jelly
Awesome,
Roll,
dude.
Amen, brother.
dude.
Go check out his special on Hulu.
I hope one day we meet. His documentary's fire. And Jelly Roll, we're proud of you, man. Keep it going.
Yes, sir.
And, we're the select few.
Yes, sir.
Our boy Sal.
Sal's gonna be back.
All the-
There's
all
no
the
way
artists.
we're finishing this up with
If I may,
this kind of
if I
ending.
may say, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
all
go
the
ahead.
artists out
Let it
there,
rip.
do not give up. All my Black and Latino people, do not give up. You can do it. I came up from nothing. I fought for everything I got. Y'all can do it. And just remember, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Hell
Cheers.
yeah, baby.
Facts.
Love y'all guys.
Signing
Thank
off. Select few.
Later.
I got so much on my plate, you know I can't wait. Been out in my line and the spot money on the way. I get all my takes out.